Hello, everyone. Victoria Mattia here. I hope that you are having an awesome day. I'm just checking everything, making sure that we are recording and everything is on. This is one of those special episodes where we are on YouTube as well as the Mom Care Coach podcast. So if this is your first time tuning in to the Mom Care Coach, thank you so very much. My name is Victoria Mattia. I hope that you're having an awesome day. And thank you for joining me today. And if this is your first time, thank you for stopping by and seeing if this is something that you've been looking for. I hope it is. And I hope that this episode blesses you. If you are a longtime listener, thank you so much for coming back and enjoying and liking and telling your friends so that they know all about these episodes as well. So today, we have a fun episode for you. If you've not checked out last week's episode, please do not forget to go have a listen. We did some journaling and it was really awesome, the response that I've heard from everyone. So I'm really excited. Thank you so much for coming by. So today we are going to talk about our overarching goals. I've heard some of you mention like where do you start when you're talking about the four intentional needs? How do you start doing it? What does it mean? And then when do you know you're ready to go right into the next intentional need that you want to work on? Well, first of all, I applaud you for working on your four intentional needs. It's so very important. And number one, you're looking for the first intentional need you're wanting to work on is the one that you're struggling with the most. And of course, our four intentional needs are sleep is the foundation of our self-care as autism parents. And honestly, it's the foundation for anyone. But we do it a little bit differently because we are autism parents. So they are sleep, mindset, movement, and nutrition. Now, we must remember that they are tethering us as the foundation. They are tethering us to what we want to be the overarching goal in order to be successful when it comes to our self-care. And so today we're going to talk about some of these goals. I'm actually going to mesh the two together. So I'm hoping that this will be really helpful, especially if you've been wondering how to do that. How do you know when to go to different ones? And the thing is that you can mesh, and that's the goal to have all four of them meshing together. I only mentioned do one at a time when you are bringing new ideas in because you don't want to get overwhelmed. The amygdala, as a part of the brain, will say, this is too hard, this is too overwhelming, we can't do this new thing, and then you'll stop cold turkey for many people. And then sometimes it'll feel like, I don't know why I can't move forward, or I don't know why I can't be consistent. It'll feel that way, but actually what is happening is that your amygdala feels overwhelmed and you're overstimulated and you don't know how to start something new when it comes to your self-care. And so it'll tell you you can't do it. And so what we're wanting to do is to kind of break things down in such a way that it's so simple to implement into our lives so that we don't quit on ourselves, basically. And today we're going to talk about how we're going to mesh two together, two of those overarching goals. So the foundation of what we're talking about today is sleep. And we're talking about sleep and nutrition. I keep looking down in case you're wondering, because I made some notes because I really want to be able to um, focus and stay on the task so that it'll be easier for you to understand. So the overarching goal of sleep is to have restorative rest in your life, and the overarching goal of nutrition is to have a nourished body, of course, right? So because these are the overarching goals, we're going to talk about the goals. Like, what does it look like? What does it feel like? Let's start with the idea of having restorative rest in your life. So the point of having restorative rest is that so we can avoid burnout and we can start looking at certain signs and figure out like what's going on in our life where we're starting to head in that direction. So when you are heading in that direction and you're starting to feel like, okay, I need to change some things. Maybe I am starting to have a little bit of adrenal fatigue. I am having some difficulties. This is what it may look like. Okay. Number one, notice the signs. Are you feeling overstimulated? Are you having sudden intense fatigue? Those can be signs of where you're heading into burnout, and we're wanting to focus on that restorative rest piece, aka sleep, so that we don't go there. Another thing may happen. Recent stressors, when you're starting to have these feelings and it looks like you're heading into burnout, you're heading into adrenal fatigue, you are struggling with some chronic fatigue symptoms. Now, hospitals own all of those, Big Pharma owns all of those titles. So we really focus on symptoms here. I'm just mentioning some of those things because for some people, that those symptoms equal those diagnoses. Maybe you've been diagnosed with some things, maybe you have not. But if we're focusing on the symptoms, then we can help our bodies to go in the right direction that we want. Now, of course, I am not a medical doctor. I am a certified women's wellness educator that specializes specifically for mamas that have children on the autism spectrum. I am also a certified life and health coach, and I focus on helping mamas and focusing on our self-care by the way of observing our four intentional needs and doing that in a way that fits in our lifestyles so that those four intentional needs will tether us to having certain goals in our life when it comes to our self-care. So another thing you may start feeling, because we're focusing right now, the second, all on that restorative rest piece, and then we're going to actually transition and go into the nutrition and how that can help us and how we can mesh those together. And in the end of the goal is having that nourished body. Okay. So with the restorative rest, we talked about we want to avoid burnout, right? We want to notice the signs of feeling overstimulated, maybe like hearing certain people talk on and on and on starts to feel like it's like draining you, or like moments where you didn't have that kind of issue. Suddenly it's just too much. Suddenly you're having intense fatigue. Now, when I say suddenly, that doesn't mean that it's never happened before, but if it's getting worse and it's presenting like you are just feeling less and less well, then these are red flags for our life and our self-care. We talked about recent stressors. So that means like maybe you had an IEP meeting that was really stressful, a doctor's visit that didn't go as well as you wanted. Maybe they were suggesting things you don't feel comfortable with for your child that's on the spectrum, or maybe they're against detoxing and that's something that you feel really strongly about. Then, that is going to create some kind of stress in your heart and mind, and we want to address that. So the third thing is maybe you suddenly start having more difficulty with sleeping, or the sleeping is not as consistent. What do we do? Okay, so let's look at how we can fix these situations. Number one, we want to focus on developing proper sleep hygiene. What does that mean? Well, we are closing the screens, our laptops, our phones, our televisions, our smart TVs, our tablets, our anything that has a screen at least an hour before we're actually wanting to be in bed. Also, having a nighttime routine. Once you close all of that up, going and taking a bath if that's possible, or doing an EO scrub down, like taking some essential oils, putting one drop on a hot towel and put it under some hottest water that you can handle, and then scrubbing your body with it. It can be very calming for you. Another option is, with that sleep hygiene, um, putting on some really soft, fluffy pajamas that make you feel good. If you are a mama like myself and you are in your late 30s, 40s, even early 50s, you may be in perimenopause. And so you want to make sure that you're having pajamas that is not holding on to heat, but it's like a cooling pajamas, or pajamas with the material is really soft so that you're not feeling, overwhelmed in the middle of the night with feeling hot or cold or just uncomfortable. making sure that you have blackout curtains, or now they have even like these blackout um, pieces of fabric that are magnetic and they stick to your windows. So that's another option. So you don't have to do complete window treatments. All of that contributes to sleep hygiene. Also, making sure that your last meal is at least 2 to 3 hours before the time you want to go to sleep. So that means if you want to be in bed by 8:45, then you want to have your last meal completed by 5:45 and no snacks after that. You can have maybe a cup of tea, but keep in mind you don't want to be up throughout the night going to the bathroom either. So you want to think of all of these, and all of this contributes to your sleep hygiene, making sure the room temperature feels good, making sure it's really dark, making sure you are able to feel comfortable in your jammies, your tummy isn't too full, you you've completed all the water, food, and everything at least 2 hours before it's time to go to sleep. Um, and even really 3 hours is what's best. The newest scientific research is what it's showing. Okay, and then if you're seeing those feelings, you're feeling like you're heading into burnout, you're not feeling your best. We've talked about those kind of signs a few minutes ago. So what can we do? Work on the sleep hygiene. Number two, we can create more nourishing meals for our body. You can think about maybe meatless Mondays or having a daily green smoothie. So you're getting lots of greens. Greens, cruciferous vegetables, kale, spinach, broccoli, sprouts, all of this helps. These are cleansers. They can cleanse the body. They can also help your body to release a lot of the things that is not good for it and can make it feel weighed down. And so when you're having these greens in your body, then it's going to help with energy. It's going to help you release things that you don't need, and it's going to help you to feel full. And when you start adding these grades in your body, I always talk about the crowding out method. Don't try to think, okay, if you are a person who's been eating the standard American diet for, who knows how long, it's really hard to go from that to like being a raw vegan, or go from that to like having everything all natural and organic, a whole foods diet, when that's not something that you've ever done. And you don't want to set yourself up for failure. And so I think the crowding out method can be very helpful. I have known people who would eat, kale right along with their eggs for breakfast and still have a handful of their kids' Cheerios. And I'm not saying that that is the healthiest thing, but I also believe in living the season that you're in. And over time, your body, the more you're giving it the good food, the nourishing, the nutrient dense food, a lot of times the body is going to crave those things that it's not good for it. It will crave it less and less and less. So you want to think of your health with the long game, the long viewpoint, not trying to get everything done immediately, but slowly understanding that things are going to help you. You're going to be able to stick to things if you have certain systems and tools built in your life, and it's going to be easier for you to be consistent. So we want to have the long end in mind, the long game. You know what I mean? So the next thing. So number three, we want to be getting daily sunlight, either going out within that first 20 minutes of waking up, if not possible, before 10 a.m. to get that morning sunlight. If that's still not possible, you can use something called a sunblocks. There's all kinds. I have this little one that I have had for several years. I think I bought it during COVID, and I plug it in, and because of how it's made, it can actually help to produce vitamin D in the body. And so how that helps is that you want when your body is able to get that first sunlight, it helps with serotonin levels, it helps with melatonin levels as you're trying to get to sleep so that you're able to get to sleep easier and stay asleep longer and then get up at the right time. And the sunlight, fresh sunlight is always going to be best. But if that's not an option, you can opt for a sun box and you can go and Google to find out the best kind, the best brands, and all of that. So, to do a quick recap, today we're talking about the goals. We want to have restorative rest. We want to have that in our life. And by having restorative rest, that's going to help us to avoid burnout. And when we see ourselves heading into that direction and we implement certain steps and certain things that can support our health, then it can halt that burnout so that we don't go plunging headfirst into it. We can slowly start to pull ourselves back, realizing that, okay, there are some things that we can do that can help our bodies to recalibrate so that we can feel our best, right? And so we mentioned that what are those signs when we're not feeling our best and we don't know what's going on and we're looking at that overarching goal of having restorative rest, then and the whole point, of course, is that to avoid burnout, we start to notice these signs. And we have three big ones. Notice the signs. Are you feeling overstimulated? Sudden intense fatigue, number one. Number two, recent stressors. Think about what's been going on in your life. Number three, are you having some difficulty sleeping and it's kind of gotten worse or it's sudden? When we have those things in our life, there are some things that we can do. And there was three top things that we talked about today. Sleep hygiene, nourishing foods, how we're connecting, see how we're connecting the restorative rest and the nourished body pillar. Remember, those are the goals. So the foundation is the nutrition and the sleep. And so we're tethering those to that overarching goal, those pillars to help us so we can have the long end in mind. Okay. And then number three, daily sunlight. Okay. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope it's a blessing to you. Go ahead and like this episode. Don't forget, if you are needing some more support, opt in for coaching. Just message me. I have my email in the description. Let me know what you need. I have 30-minute blocks as well as 1 hour blocks. So I am able to be flexible with working with what your needs are. And I hope that you have an awesome day. And I look forward to talking with you next time. Bye bye. And of course, take good care.